Hello, just want to explain the final project to you since you're not going to be here this week, and let you kind of know what you need to do for that. Assume you're going to work on your own for this one, yeah, so I'll modify a little bit of the expectations based on that. Also, this week, I think you've already turned in everything. We are going to do an in-class assessment over Unit 5. It's something you can work on outside of class, but that'll be later in the week, probably on Thursday. Um, Looking at doing that on Thursday so that you have time to look that stuff over Unit 5. I'll send you a link to that. It'll be a quiz in Canvas, but it will be something you can use notes and internet resources, whatever you need. Basically, it's an open resource assignment. But it will kind of count in the quiz category. So make sure you have your Unit 5 stuff. You should have access to what you've turned in online. If you can't complete that this week, you can definitely complete it next week if you don't have like resources with you to do that. But for Unit 4, this Train a Champion project, if you click on this, what you're going to do, if you click on the guidelines for the assignment, oh, I just linked the wrong assignment. So, let me pause and fix that real quick. All right, now that I have the link fixed, let's try this again. So I click on this link, it will bring up this document, which is the Train a Champion on our project. If you look back here, this is due next Thursday, the 4th. It's going to be extended the trimester by another week, so it goes to the 5th. So the 5th will be the last day of the trimester. I will probably I'm planning on having some presentation time during that day or the following day where you'll give a short presentation of this in class. Anyway, you're basically going to make a Google Slides or some sort of presentation to an athlete. And imagine you have a client and you are basically an athletic trainer, and you have a client who you want to work with to create a training plan. And so read through here, it gives you some details on the scenario. And it talks about working in a group or as a team. So you're working by yourself. Really, you need to focus on taking on the role of an athletic trainer and as well as a nutritionist or dietitian. So you're going to focus on what exercises they're going to do and how they're going to manage their nutrition. And basically the general topics that we're going to look at: diet, exercise, hydration, injury prevention, how they're going to track progress. And then, don't need to focus necessarily on medications or supplements unless they have some sort of illness and how that's going to affect them. And then these are like the specific items: the goal of the plan, description of their dietary needs based on their body, where they're like, what health conditions they're in. And I'll show you an example of project lists here in just a minute that you can choose from. An example meal plan for a typical day in the training. So just give a meal plan like what they'll eat for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and explain like their ratio of carbohydrates to fat to proteins and why that would be helpful. A meal plan for the night before the event. So let's say they're going to do a marathon or something. What would they eat the night before to make sure they had all their energy sources? An example training plan for 1 week. So what are they going to do with cardiovascular and strength training? Make sure you're mentioning body energy systems like phosphagen as lactic acid or aerobic respiration that you're trying to focus on training. So it depends on if it's a sprint event or a longer term event. And then the main muscle groups that are targeted. And one it says at least 3 tests. If you just want to give one baseline test you're primarily going to focus on, so BMI, range of motion, any of these kind of tests that we've looked at. And if you search on the University of Florida Health, Fitness, and Wellness Center, and there's a link. That link, I don't know why it's not showing up there, but that link is actually in courses right here. It's a different link actually. If you go to this NYU Langone Health link, I'll put that into the document and update it. But this link gives you some things you can measure. So I'll update that real quickly so that everybody has that link. I'm updating this as we go. Anyway, that should help you try to get some of those things sorted out as far as what you're going to research. So I think that hopefully will get you a good start. Again, I can look things over when you come back next week as far as your progress. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And then the other thing is, you know, how will you track the progress of the athlete? You don't even, since you're working by yourself, don't worry about specific to your fourth career. There's nothing to do with that. But talk about what you're looking for in the test results. So these three kind of go together, like how you're going to track the test results, what you're going to be looking for in the athlete, and then why is this important? So make sure you're addressing that throughout the presentation, like why we're doing this, why are we doing this specific activity, why are we eating these specific foods, how is it going to help, and then talk about specifically. Make one slide. I would have one slide where you kind of address how this plan is helping the muscular system. Like, what are we doing to the muscular system? How are we going to help skeletal, the respiratory, and so on, to ensure that the body's in its best overall condition for the training program or for the uh, activity. Now, as far as the uh, activity that you're going to be having them do, if you go here, link to project ideas, this is a Google sheet. And these are just things that people have come up with in the past. So by all means, make up your own, but make sure this is shared. Yeah, so everybody can look at that. So basically, um, you have some person with some condition, and this is the event they're going to do. So someone who's diabetic going to do a marathon, and it could be a shark bite survivor is going to do a Spartan run. So think of maybe a competition that interests you, um, and maybe find someone who has had a. I think it's best if you find someone who has a specific condition that maybe makes it tricky for them or makes it more difficult, or maybe they're at a certain level but they want to go to the next level of challenge, and then you have to try to make that fit. So please let me know what you're thinking once you think you have an idea of what your topic is and what you want to be able to have your person do, and then I can give you some feedback on that. So hopefully this helps, and take care and let me know if you have any questions. Skip, thanks.